I'm back to the channel. Thanks for showing up. My sister asked me to make a potato bin for her with an onion drawer. I'm going to try to make it out of these cedar um, fence pickets. I like working with these. It's pretty much the cheapest way to get cedar. I'm making it out of that. Believe it or not, these things are going for the ones she showed me on Etsy around $130, $140. Some of them maybe $100, but up in that range. And then most of them are just made out of pine. We're gonna go ahead and make this one out of cedar. Went ahead and got 10 pickets. I think that's more than I need, so that'll give me extras for some other projects here in the coming days or whatever. We'll see how many it takes. I'm thinking I can do it with about 6 pickets. They're about $4.50 after tax. When you factor in however much glue and brad nails, maybe screws we'll use, we'll just call it $5 per board. So if we make it with 6, we spent maybe $30, saved about $100. Start by cutting down some of them to make the sides. I'm gonna be using this table saw I'm borrowing from my brother. I don't have nothing. It's only things I want. If I can get some support on the GoFundMe. This miter saw, actually my wife, this, and you'll see a air compressor probably later on. Those 2 items, my wife went in half with me for my birthday. We got, kind of the cheapest ones we could find that would do the job. But I'm really grateful for that. Without her, I probably wouldn't have those couple things. Obviously, safety glasses. We're going to be doing some cutting. We don't want dust in our eyes. So I'm gonna get to cutting. I don't really have a plan for this. I know about what I want it to look like. 4 sides, maybe about 30 inches tall or so. A hinged top. Usually it's slanted. I think I'm just gonna make mine flat. And then a drawer on bottom for the onions. And then usually maybe there's a cutout with hardware cloth, which we have some laying around here from a previous project with my older brother. He came over and we built something together. So I might do something like that. Also, a lot of times people will just use pegboard on the back or just drill holes in the back. But I think we're going to build this, since we're using the pickets, just with gaps between the pickets a little bit. Kind of give it a little bit of that kind of like farmhouse homemade look. We're still going to try to make it look nice too. We're going to sand it down and stain it at the end, So I may or may not cut a vent and use the hardware cloth. Might just go for just the gaps between the planks being enough ventilation. And then I'll tell my sister, if your potatoes start rotting, just drill some holes in the back. But like I said, I don't have a real plan on it. I just kind of have an idea. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe I end up cutting vents in it. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just go with some gaps. I'm gonna cut these down, I think about 30 inches long for the sides. So I should be able to get 2 out of each picket. And then I'll just use 2 per side. So 4 sides, 4 pickets. So 4 pickets should make all 4 sides. I'm gonna go ahead and cut 4 pickets down to some 30-inch pieces. I'll cut the factory end off to make sure we're good and clean and square, and then measure from there. 30 inches cut, 30 inches cut. All right, see you after that. All right, so we got all 8 of our 30-inch pieces cut, and that left us our cut off. Got 4 cut-offs left over. I think I might be able to use those as the floor beneath the drawer and the floor of the potato compartment. So I'm gonna hold on to those, and basically I'm gonna rip down another piece to attach the 2 sides together. I'll show you what I mean. It's hard for me to explain. But basically the next step here is ripping on the table saw. One more board, so this will be our 5th board that we're using. And I think we're gonna need a little bit of cuts off of the 6th board. I think that's all we're gonna end up using for this. So 6 boards, about $5 each, about $30 for this whole thing, and they're selling for around $130 on Etsy. So $100 off, or if I were to make and sell them, I guess $100 profit. I don't know, maybe let me know in the comments, would you guys buy this? I guess you want to see the finished product first. But yeah, I'm gonna rip that down, measure my fence, get it set. I think about 1 3/4 inches, so I can get 3 rips out of it, and I'll show you how I'm gonna use that to attach the sides together. Okay, I might have misspoke, but also I forgot something in that last video. Okay, we're at 4 boards for these, and I did go ahead and rip 1 board into 1 3/4 rips, and I've already sawed those to 11.5 inches, 6 of them, 10 1/4 inch, 6 of them. I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's gonna be right. It leaves us with these 3 long pieces of scrap, which may get used in building the lid in the drawer. But that's what I think I forgot to say that a minute ago in the last part of the video, that I do still actually have to build the drawer and the lid part too. So that's maybe a couple more, 1 or 2 more boards maybe. But oh yeah, we'll total it up at the end, how many boards we used and how much we spent. But I'm gonna lay these out, get some lines measured where I want to put these pieces, come back and show you what I'm doing. I wanted to show you kind of quickly my idea here. Got 2 boards per side, and I'm using 3 pieces. It'll be the very bottom, and then the shelf for like the drawer will sit on that, and this one will hold like the floor of the potato can up top to top together. Reason these ones are 1 1/4 inch longer. These ones are about 1.5 inches. These are 2 1/4. They can fit together. Hopefully everything is lined up. Yeah, it's so okay. I'm gonna measure about, I think, 10 inches and make a line here so that I make sure I get all of those in the same height. But the bottom and the top, I'm just lining up with the bottom and top, so I don't measure anything there. So I'll mark those lines, come back, get everything lined up, and I think I'm gonna screw these together because the grain is going opposite directions. If we just glued it together, it'd hold for a while, but over seasons, even being indoors, this wood is going to expand this way, and this wood is going to expand this way, and it eventually would break loose. So if we put screws and maybe make the hole through the first board a little bit wide, so there's a little bit of wiggle room in that screw, this thing should stay together. It should have plenty of room to swell with the seasons and stay together for a really long time. So I think that's the way I'm gonna go with it. I think I got enough screws. I'll go ahead and look for that real quick. But yeah, mark those lines, get all this attached, and then I'll start putting all 4 sides together. Or actually, then at one point I'm gonna mark on one of these sides in the bottom portion where the hole for the drawer will be. Go ahead and cut that, and then get everything put together, or all 4 sides put together, and work on getting these 4 pieces cut to length, which will be our floor here and our floor here. So I'll check back in with you at that point. All right, we got our sides assembled, and I went ahead and marked out the door and cut it out. Just use one of our scrap cutoffs. That. Sides like that. And just traced it down, cut it out with this tool. So Now I will put these like this. Like so. And we'll just oops. And then just it's hard to hold all this. I'm gonna drive a screw through here from the outside of this one all the way through. I'm gonna pilot, drill all those holes, screw them from the outside. So those screws will be visible from the outside, but it's not that big a deal. It'll be on the sides, not the front. So I'll go ahead and get all four sides put together, show you how that looks, and then we can work on cutting these pieces to size for our 2 floors. And we'll almost be done. We'll just have to make the drawer and the lid. So check back with you in just a minute. So we got all 4 sides put together with the screws. Other side is the same way. Next step is to take these floor cut off pieces and make floors. They need to be cut a little bit shorter. So we'll measure up. We'll lay those 2 that way. That way. Fasten those in as well. And that should help. It's pretty stout, pretty stable right now. But fastening those in opposite directions, I think should help tie it all together even more. And then we just have to build our little drawer and our lid. Alright, we got this cut down the size. See the bottom 2 down in there? And we'll leave these ones this way. Fasten these in and everything. These bottom 2, I'm going to sand them as smooth as possible so that the drawer will slide a little more easy. And then we'll get those installed, and then we'll build our drawer, we'll build our top, sand everything nice and smooth, and stain it. Alright, so I did end up cutting into a 7th board, about half of the board, so we'll say it cost about $35 to build this, so still about $100 less than what we're seeing online. I didn't put a hinged hood, just a lid that you can take off. I think that's okay. Drawer, did put some glue in there too, so it'll help hold everything together. Slide's okay. We'll stain it up, it'll look a little bit nicer, but yeah, it's not bad. What do you think? Alright, so there we go. Got it stained, put together. That's what we look like. Really very pleased with it. Smells nice too. I can't smell it, but it smells like cedar because it is cedar. So I hope you like that. If you did, leave it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. It might help the channel. Share and consider donating on GoFundMe. Thanks.